It's an undisputed fact that Russell Simmons is a living legend in the entertainment industry. Having spent close to 4 decades in it, it's only right that he become a legend. In the early days of his career, he was celebrated for creating an empire that included Def Records, Def Comedy Jam, Fat Farm, and Baby Farm, which he launched alongside his then-wife Kimura, but we're not talking about his empire or even his successful career. Instead, we're interested in the other part of his life. Recently, Russell Simmons has been in the news, but you can bet that it wasn't for good reason. So why did his own daughter call him a horrible person? And why is he being tagged as crazy? Well, let's get into it. To properly talk about it, we have to go back to sometime around 1992, when 17-year-old Kimura Lee was working as a model. And while sashaying down the runway at New York Fashion Week, she caught the attention of 35-year-old Russell. According to The Guardian, despite their age gap and the fact that Kimura was a teenager, Russell began to woo her. He was sending flowers to her agency, which apparently was a very common tactic for Russell. But young Kimura wasn't aware that he was shooting a shot at other models too. When Kimura told her friend and fellow model Tyra Banks about the beautiful bouquet she was receiving, Tyra warned her. Tyra told Kimura that Russell had a reputation for being an old man from way back. But now, how did Tyra know that Russell was chasing after other models? Well, get this. Russell reportedly sent 19-year-old Tyra the exact same flowers he sent Kimura. Kimura ignored her friend and decided to give Russell a shot. But for those that might talk about the age of consent, in New York, it's 17. But Russell has since confirmed that they didn't start dating until after Kimura turned 18. He also stated that Kimura's mom and her manager approved, supported, and pushed their relationship. Russell and Kimura were on and off for several years, and Kimura quickly realized that Tyra was right. And she told The Guardian, "He was a playboy and I am a bit crazy because of it today." So Russell pursued a young, naive teenager and wooed her, only to step out on her and entertain other women. It got so bad that Kimura had to book a trip to Milan to create some distance between them. And that was when Russell realized he had messed up a good thing. Russell took up veganism and started doing yoga. He stayed away from all the parties and stopped entertaining other models in an effort to win Kimura. And well, I guess it worked, because Russell proposed on New Year's Eve in 1997 while on Diddy's boat in St. Bart's. They became husband and wife in 1998 at the New York courthouse before flying to St. Bart's for another ceremony. In January 2000, they welcomed their first daughter, Ming Lee, and another daughter, Aoki, who was born in August 2002. Things were going great with the couple, and they were living life in the fab lane. Even Tyra was shocked. She told People magazine that Kimura turned the man about town into a loving husband and papa. However, good things never last, because as Russell told People magazine in March 2006, "Kimura and I will remain committed parents and caring friends with great love and admiration for each other. We'll also continue to work side by side on a daily basis as partners in all of our businesses." Neither of them was in a rush to stick a fork in their marriage, because it took Kimura 2 more years to finally file for divorce on March 27, 2008. On the same day she filed the divorce paperwork, TMZ spotted Russell out with his new girlfriend, supermodel Portia Coleman. Although it was unclear how long they had been dating, the YBF reported they were already having an affair, and Portia had met his children. Their relationship didn't last, and Portia moved on with Jason Kidd. Russell was ordered to pay Kimura $40,000 per month in child support, and he and Kimura remained on good terms for several years. Kimura was even spotted vacationing with him, their children, and one of Russell's new girlfriends in 2012. But despite the good relationship Kimura tried to build with Russell, it seems Russell's bad habits severed their connections, as several allegations were leveled against him. Natasha Williams was an 18-year-old freshman at UCLA. She's the latest woman to come forward to accuse music mogul Russell Simmons of sexual misconduct. 2017 brought a whole new slew of trouble for the business mogul. At the birth of the Me Too movement, several women came forward to accuse him of misconduct, including model Carrie Clausen-Callaghe. Clausen-Callaghe claimed Russell assaulted her in 1991 when she was 17. She also claimed film director Brett Ratner was there and watched the entire encounter and didn't even try to help her. Russell later said he remembers everything that happened and that it was a consensual encounter. So now, it just seems like Russell has a thing for young girls. In response, Russell tried to start the Not Me movement to deny any allegations that were made as a part of the Me Too movement. He even had support from Kimura. "I have issued countless denials of the false allegations against me. I have lived my life honorably as an open book for decades, devoid of any kind of violence against anyone." Michael Sterling told TMZ that Russell took a photography test to address Kerry Clausen Callaghan's allegations. According to his lawyer, Russell passed the test with flying colors, but of course, the results aren't admissible in court. A woman named Jennifer Jarosik claimed Russell took advantage of her in 2016, and she filed a $5 million lawsuit against him. Kimura stepped up and called the woman a liar. Russell also denied the allegations and said their encounters were over 10 years ago and were all consensual. The case was later dismissed with prejudice, which typically means a settlement had been reached and neither party can refile the case. While Russell escaped to Bali for a yoga retreat, Oprah geared up to executive produce a documentary about the allegations against him. Oprah admitted to the New York Times that Russell contacted her several times, but other entertainers like 50 Cent and The Game also dragged her for targeting a black man while turning a blind eye to Russell's white counterparts. Oprah withdrew as executive producer, but she made it clear that her decision had nothing to do with Russell's request. "He did reach out multiple times and attempted to pressure me. Though she supported the women, she also said she worried about inconsistencies in the accuser's stories." As if Russell didn't have enough to worry about, he eventually decided to go against the one person who's always had his back, his ex-wife, Kimura Lee. In 2021, he sued Kimura and her husband, Tim Leisner. In the court documents, he says he worked with Kimura and Tim on a company that owned stock in the Celsius energy drink. Russell believed Kimura and Tim used 4 million shares as security to post a bond for Tim after he was caught up in a money laundering scandal. Kimura's rep stated the case was Russell's attempt to use the legal system to access funds he wasn't entitled to. The rep added, "Russell's continued aggressive behavior not only blatantly distorts the facts, but is simply a desperate PR ploy, ignoring the years of mental and emotional anguish, gaslighting, and ongoing harassment he's inflicted on Kimura." Their friendship has continued to crumble throughout the years, and things came to a head on Father's Day 2023. It all started when their daughter Ming wished Kimura a happy Father's Day, but failed to acknowledge Russell. Russell then started an Instagram post, blaming Kimura for making him jump through hoops to be a father to the kids. That's when their daughter Aoki took to her social media account to explain that Russell became upset when she wouldn't pick a side in Russell's lawsuit against Kimura and Tim. Aoki leaked a series of videos of the disgraced record executive screaming on several FaceTime calls shortly after Kimura Lee Simmons begged her ex-husband to leave their children alone. Aoki also posted text messages from him as well as a screen recording of Russell going ballistic. Aoki later posted to her Instagram stories that they think Russell is mentally ill or experiencing dementia. Aoki also said,
"I have been dealing with this my whole life. This is not new. It's not new drama. I already live in the drama, so now I'm just sharing. There's no therapy you can go to."
The following day, Kimura hopped on Instagram to tell Russell to stop attacking their family. She said in an Instagram post, "This same abusive-ish. This is how you maneuver with the world and the women all around you. Your threat and lies and intimidation maneuvers and tactics are sad. Stop it, please. Your own flesh and blood? Enough is enough." Aoki also took to Instagram Live to explain the current situation regarding how her father is being awful to not just her, but also her sister, Ming Lee Simmons. In a separate Instagram post that showed a recording of Russell shouting wildly during a FaceTime call, Aoki added, "I've done everything I could do since I was 15. I've tried my hardest not to have drama, to be quiet and calm for the family I love. But I don't know what a person can do at this point. Maybe if I was older, I'd know." On June 20, 2023, Russell shared a photo of his daughter on Instagram. In the caption, he apologized for being frustrated and for yelling, adding, "But know this, there are no conditions for sure. I love you guys more than I love myself. Well, there hasn't been any other recent update on the issue, but one thing is for sure, behind the glitz and glamour, Russell definitely has a dark side. So tell me, what do you think? Leave them below in the comments.